Hello everybody and welcome back to Ears to the East, where it is only I and Benedict today. Unfortunately, Neon is not feeling very well. We are certainly wishing him the best. Hopefully he'll be able to join us. But one thing he won't be able to do is the housework. Isn't that right, Benedict?
It's bad. Yeah. I mean, it's fun. I like these challenges, like picking out a song for a certain theme. Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, we decided to make it a bit different this time because as we don't have the pleasure of Neon's company, we went for 2 songs each, didn't we? And so not only are we going to be presenting our songs, but I'm also really interested to hear the justification because your songs especially are really different. But let's just get into this. For anyone who doesn't know or hasn't actually looked at the video they clicked on, the subject of this video is we had to pick songs that were perfect for maxing out your housework chores to. Songs that you could just get all the housework done to, songs that would be perfect for going around doing the housework. I've got to be honest, this one was picked by vote. I'm going to put this out there straight away from the beginning. I don't know about you, man, but when I do housework, actually, I usually listen to podcasts when I do the housework.
Really? No, I actually listen to music. And I also picked a song, like one of the songs at least I almost listen to every time when I have to do chores.
Yeah, this might come down a little bit to why I chose the songs I did, but we're gonna jump into this. I think the best thing to do then, your songs are really interesting, so I want to sort of do your songs last. I'll start with I'll start with one of mine first of all. Let's start with probably the most obvious pick, which I went for was "One More Time" by Scandal. Let's get this one through first of all. So. All right, as usual.
For you, it's an obvious pick. I have to say, for me, that's not an obvious pick.
All right, why was that not an obvious one for you? I'm interested.
Because, I mean, we will get to my songs later, but to me, that song didn't have a lot of, like, driving force or driving energy. To me, it's more a song I would listen to when I'm, like, relaxing on the balcony or something.
Yeah, now... I recently put this song in a video I did, which was during the summer. I did a video about a compilation of great Japanese songs to boil to in the summer's day. Songs that you wouldn't particularly want to be overly active to. So ironically, I think I've already proven that I agree
I'm kind of right.
But this is the reason why. Now, I do think my 2 suggestions are quite different as well. But the reason I put this song forwards is because I'll be honest with you. There's some housework that I put effort into. There's some housework that I really don't. There's some housework where it's just laborious. It's boring. I'm thinking about what do I do around the house. I'm talking about things like, sorting out, getting all of the bills, putting them in their envelopes, the ones that I've paid, the ones that I haven't, taking out the bin bags. This is stuff that doesn't require much physical effort. It doesn't really require much mental effort. It's just kind of something where you just want to zone out and just get it done and just be calm. Just get it done. Yeah, this is something that doesn't require energy.
Time waste.
Yes, kind of. Yes, it takes time, and it's just eating at your day. So I want something that will make me feel chilled. And that was actually the first type of housework I thought of. I was thinking about that kind of like the boring, the organizational housework. The stuff where, you find one sock and you're like, oh, I don't know where the other sock is that goes with this one. Oh, God. Baby, one more time. I
recently found quite a few socks that were missing. So maybe they kind of solved the riddle.
I bet they're my fucking socks, aren't they? You got like a sock portal or some shit. My socks are just disappearing through a portal in the back of the cupboard and appearing in Germany somewhere. But I was thinking you need at least one song which is just the zone out and just get through that kind of song. And so for me, that was it. One More Time, I find it's a peaceful song, but it's got a little bit of movement to it. This is what I was thinking when I said it's summary. It's one of those songs where you don't really have to do much physically, but you can't help but your shoulders start to move. You just feel a little bit like, okay, well, at least I can vibe to it. At least this has got something. It's making me move. It's engaging, and yet it's not like hitting you with big beats and making you bounce around and want to get up on your feet. It's just making you kind of want to nod your head.
I mean, I kind of get that, but for me personally, that kind of puts me in a mood where I don't want to do even any chores.
Oh, adult life, some shit you just gotta do and you don't want to do it, and fuck. Yeah, so For me that was ironic. I mean, maybe this just shows how much that kind of thing annoys me. That was the very first type of housework I thought of when this won the vote, the vote on our community page. I was like, I started thinking 90% of my housework is that. It's boring organizational stuff that you just.
I mean, we could kind of get to my second pick because that's a similar thought process.
All right, so we're going to start with the second song you gave me first of all. Now, the second song you gave me was by Chai, and it was a song called, well, it's called End, but I want to call it END because of the way that it's presented in the song. All right, I want to know, well, actually, do you want to give me your justification first of all for this song? Because for anyone who doesn't know, it's kind of like, it's an old school style hip hop beat almost underneath, a bit of a lo-fi beat. And then it's got this lyric over the top, which is somewhere between pop and rap. I want to let you explain it before I get too much in on this one.
I think you explained it pretty well. I mean, listen to the song, then you know.
Yeah, that's probably
how it sounds. That's probably the best. I hope you will link them down below.
I never know when we do these. I never know whether we're more like doing this to people who like have listened to the songs already, or whether we're actually trying to sell the songs to people. Going, well, this is why I think you should check it out. I don't really know what our angle is, but hey, fuckers, we're gonna act like you've all listened to the songs. Probably. Go check them out first, but please come back. END by Chai.
Well, lyrically, I mean, there's a song. It's about the end. So I was also thinking about, like, when you're doing chores, you will always find something else that you can probably do as well, like clean that or clean your windows and do that as well. And tidy up that space. And at some point you just have to call quits. Like, you have to put an end to it. And also, actually, I don't even know what the lyrics are about for real. So, but all these elements, they throw in a lot of little like English sentences, like "don't look over here" and things like that. And "shut up!
Don't look in the corner. Sweep it under the rug."
That's exactly like the feeling when I get, and I'm looking around and like, oh shit, I should do that as well. But no, I'm just not looking.
Do you know what? I'm starting to get a feeling that there's actually a very big, as we will find out in a minute as well, there's a very big difference in the way that you and I approach housework, which is that you are very aware that you're looking for a way out. Whereas I'm kind of numbing myself to the experience, just trying to get through to the end. You're actually trying to find an off-ramp as quickly as possible. I'm starting to see your approach. I wonder if you turned that camera around, whether your house would be very messy.
I mean, I admit I'm not the most clean or tidy person, but I always approach it like I most of the time I put a lot of things, I wait for it, and then I choose like one day, and that's like my chore day. And then I try to, get as much done as possible.
So there is a degree of efficiency to that. You pick one day, it's your chore day, and then you spend that entire day trying not to do the chore.
Exactly.
I'm with you 110% on that.
But I still like. Still, the song, like you mentioned with yours, it has like this a bit of a like groove that gets you moving to get at least a bit of energy, so you can actually do some stuff.
See, for me, the interesting thing is that the way the lyrics were delivered, and I think I might have been slightly biased towards this because of the beat. I mean, as I say, it comes in immediately with that sort of old school lo-fi hip hop beat. And that's definitely the vibe they're going for. The vocals are delivered in a kind of a loose, sort of spoken, rhythmic way. It kind of gave me like slight memories of like old school Beastie Boys, or even like sort of, you could even take it to something like, what's that song by Shampoo? Like Trouble, I think it was by Shampoo. Stuff where it's really sort of lo-fi, and it was all the trashiness at once.
But yeah, Beastie Boys. I haven't thought about it, but kind of, yeah. Like the vocal delivery.
The problem I think I kind of had with it is I felt like, for me, it made me feel a bit restless, and maybe not in a good way, because I always felt like it was about to kick in. I was waiting for that bit where the lyrics were just going to suddenly start bouncing up and someone was going to start rapping. No one ever quite rapped. You know, there was a lot of sort of just talking over the beat like it was an 80s rap. Da, 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 da. It was that kind of thing. I'm like, I'm waiting for it to kick in. I'm waiting for someone to. It's like everyone's.
That's also one of the reasons why I chose this song, and also my first pick. We'll get to that later.
Okay, we're going to get to that. Don't worry, we're going to get to that. I got some questions about that shit.
I didn't want it to have like that part where, okay, this is like the climax, and afterwards it will calm down, because, yeah, then also like my personal energy when I'm doing stuff will have that same, like,
Yeah.
I'm influenced by the music, but it will have the same like impact, and like, okay, this is the climax. I'm doing a lot of things, and then it goes down, and I'm like sitting myself on the couch and contemplating if I should continue. That's why I choose like a song or songs that have a pretty stable like energy level, I would say.
I love how difficult it is to get you motivated. I think, I mean, I do definitely get that. I mean, the funny thing is when I was listening to that song, one of the things that came into my mind is suddenly I wanted to listen to something like, you know, like slightly more similar sort of old school style hip hop with more energy. And I was thinking of Japanese artists like Ako Gorilla, who's an absolute legend. I was thinking of that kind of thing. I was like, I really want to listen to that now. I really want to get into something really upbeat. But the problem is that I agree with what you're saying, is that would maybe be counterproductive. I mean, certainly with something like Ako Gorilla, it would be so energetic and the hip-hop is so dynamic that as a result, you'd probably just completely forget about your housework altogether. You'd be so absorbed, it would be impossible to like concentrate on your housework. So, yeah, I do get that. But for me, this song was in a slightly weird middle ground because it always had me tempted to... I always felt like it was making me want to listen to something more. It was making me want to wait for the beat to drop and for the rap to come in and wait me. So I liked it, but it was weird. It felt like an interlude. It felt like something where it was leading to something else, if that makes sense. But I agree on the mood. I certainly agree with your comments in regards to the tone of the song. That bit I definitely agree with. And talking of, so, I mean, one of the reasons why I went first is because I want to save your next pick for last. We need to talk about your next pick. But first of all, I'll just get my one out of the way.
That's most obvious in my opinion.
We'll get there. We'll get there. It's probably going to be on the fucking thumbnail, in all fairness. But, I mean... So my next pick was, I think the name actually translates to Tower of Flowers by Sayuri. Now, Sayuri is a famously, for those who know her, famously energetic acoustic guitarist. I think her history is as a busker. I don't listen to her music that much, but every time I do, I really enjoy it. And the song I picked in this particular time, I don't even know if it was a single. It's just one that on my Spotify recommendations at one point, it just came up. And I just remember listening to it going, damn, I've got to press like on that immediately. And my reasoning for this song, and this song, it's of a sound that a million artists have done. I mean, you could find an Aiko song which is like this. If you don't know Aiko,
very I would have said, yeah.
Yeah, she's an artist that's sort of famous for that sort of style of sort of jazzy pop rock with a lot of piano. Old has songs like this. There's a lot of artists who have songs like this. Shimakawa Megumi, but this particular one, it grabbed me because it has this feeling. It's very melodic and it's very uplifting. And this is more to the point you were saying. I think if you want a song that makes you feel like you're trying to achieve something, you're going to get there. This is like that, but not too big, not too dramatic, not to the point where it zones you out, just to the point where it just fills you with kind of a positive energy. Like, yeah, we can do this. We can finish cleaning the curtains. We can organize the sock drawer. It's gonna be
That's
okay.
one approach.
This is I was about to say, man, our approach to housework.
Yeah, that's kind of also the feeling I got from your song, and I also like the second pick better. I think it's my first time hearing this artist, but it had like I would say a higher energy level than compared to the Scandal song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just something that gets me going more.
I mean, definitely, the Scandal song, definitely, I picked it for its lower energy. And again, it's funny because the first song you reacted to by Scandal was their most recent one at the time recording. I can't remember what it's called. I really like it, but Headlights, Stunning Headlights. But that was a very sort of, that was a bit of a strange song for them. And then obviously now I'm giving you One More Time, which is a bit of a strange song for them. But I love that Scandal have so much variation. But yeah, this was definitely One More Time is one of her lower energy songs, but Sayuri, her songs tend to be very much focused on her and her little yellow acoustic guitar, but damn, when she like puts in the energy, you feel it. You really feel it.
Mhm.
And this is one of those songs where I was like, whoa, oh, the energy. Oh, yeah. I feel pumped up with this one. But without having to do sort of the heavy sort of guitars that would make you headbang and completely and utterly destroy
I
your
mean, it's like you
house.
said, I'm kind of like half on it because yeah, it has this nice energy and I like that a lot. That's something I just like about Japanese music. Exactly this energy and this feeling, this uplifting, fun, yeah, bit of energetic stuff. But it's also something you have, like you said, a lot in Japanese music. So it's not really,
But
yeah, very unique in style.
sorry, I think I might have made a bit of a mistake when I was making this coffee.
What is that?
I got loads of these little cream things from a hotel, and I chucked it into the coffee, and I forgot to take it out.
Yeah, that's not how it works, Howard.
It is when you're rushing to get onto a podcast. So, fuck, I can't be bothered to pour this. Just slap it in. But this is the kind of organisation that makes me a master of housework. And talking of songs with high energy, Lovebites Dissonance. What the fuck are you
Yes.
trying to do to your house, dude? What kind of rage
Max
and
out, max the topic was to max out the housework chores. So do as much as possible, and for that, I think you need as much energy as possible. And yeah, this song gives me exactly that.
Okay, now this might be a little bit of a weird, obscure reference, but I'm going to make it anyway. The first thing I thought of when I started, because I immediately I knew the song, I'd reviewed the song, but I thought I'm going to put it on anyway. I'm just going to try and, like I do with all of these theme songs, just going to try and imagine Benedict in the situation. And what it made me think of, there was this old
Jimmy cleaning something.
well, there was this sketch. It was a Key and Peele
Just
comedy
gone
sketch.
afterwards.
There was at the wall. There was this Key and Peele comedy sketch, and it's like two of them, like, and one of them's moved into his new house, and they're unpacking his boxes. And he's taking all his stuff out of the boxes, unpacking his new house. It's like, oh, do you want me to put on some music? He's like, I've got some dubstep. It's like, what's dubstep? And he puts it on, and it just makes them completely freak out. And so instead of like unpacking it, by every time he puts the music back on, they end up destroying stuff. He's like, oh my god, we're destroying my yeah. And the sketch makes more sense when you see it. But this is what I was imagining. I got this image of you like, I'm gonna clean my house, and you put on Dissonance by Lovebites, and then like 3 minutes later, you sort of recover and you just look around, and your house is demolished, and it's like a fucking mushroom cloud and shit. And he was like, at least it's sterile. Oh, I mean, it was an interesting choice. Is this one
For me,
you
that
use?
was like I immediately thought of that, or like you could choose a lot of Lovebites songs. I mean, it's called power metal for a reason because it gives you power. No, but this song, especially like the other pick, it has a really like stable energy level.
That is
It's
true.
like very has this constant level throughout. I mean, and also the intro, which they repeat one time later on, even the intro, it's like I'm standing in front of a pile of work. Putting up my sleeves, getting ready.
That is the
and
most
then-
fucking menacing shit I have ever seen, Benedict. That's I felt like you're. It's like this is the bit at the beginning of the horror movie where the titles are coming up and you've got the slow motion images of him pulling back his sleeves. Like, oh god, what's he doing? And you finally get to see You start by seeing the scene of the gruesome murder or something. It's like this is the fucking picture. I mean, I
but
got.
there are like actually three reasons why I chose the song, which is the energy level, the constant energy level. And the third one was the actually Asami's vocals, because they are
Very
I
different.
think it's probably the most aggressive vocal delivery by Asami from any song.
I mean, I'm not going to agree with you on the facts. I'm just going to agree with you. I'm just going to disagree with you on how that is a good thing for housework.
Let me explain, because you had like the approach with your song. Yeah, we can achieve everything, and let's do this. you know. And
I can't
this
wait to
song,
hear how
it's
you're
more
going to
like,
counter that. Go on. Go on.
you know, we talked about that we don't really like doing chores, and to me, that's more like Asami standing behind me like a drill sergeant.
You're embracing
Clean
it.
it. Let's go.
You're
Clean
embracing it in the most
faster.
insane way. I love it, and I'm also slightly scared.
I don't know. It's just I don't know
I know.
something
I can see it.
that gets me going.
I can see that sort of drill sergeant thing of like, get it fucking done. Get it done.
Yeah.
I can actually see that. I can see that. I can't think of many housework tasks that can be done quick enough. That song would have to be played through several times. And I think after a while I would just feel like I'm being
I think I was mostly thinking about cleaning, which I hate the most.
yeah, I fucking hate cleaning the floor in this place. It's got a hardwood floor, which I love, but cleaning it is a pain in the ass. But that's the thing. If I was listening to that song, I would have fucking like scraped the way through the hardwood floor, and I'd have fallen down into the apartment below by now if I was doing it to Lovebites. So I wanted to mention actually because you mentioned about the constant energy, and I said this when I originally did my review of Distance. I want to bring this up again because this is actually true. I think it's very relevant musically. Is that a lot of Love Bites songs, I always go back to, I know I keep on saying this, but I keep on going back to it. I think it's a great example. Glory to the World is a great example of a sort of Love Bite song that just kind of like nails the stereotype of Love Bites. You know, the big dramatic thing, builds up, you know, big crescendo, etc., etc. But one of the things that I think makes Distance so interesting is that it does stay constant energy rather than building up so much to a crescendo, but it manages to change in little ways, little things in the rhythm, in the delivery, that keep it sounding fresh from start to finish. And that's one of the things I really respect about the song, is that it goes through a lot of changes, but all of the changes are there to maintain that energy level, to stop that energy level becoming boring and repetitive. And it never dips, you know, it keeps going, it keeps that energy level up. And I have a lot of respect for
You know,
that.
Asami keeps hitting you with the whip, but she hits different spots, so it's kind of different.
So I'm going to ask, is this is something you thought about way too much? I need to revise my choices a
And
little bit here.
be glad that I didn't bring any AI pictures.
I was about to say, please tell me that no one puts forward theme for next week, songs for BDSM. I was like, hold up a minute.
I didn't mention that.
Oh no! So I thought that choice. Just the minute we were in the Discord, the minute you put that up in our private Discord, I just immediately laughed when I saw it. I was just like, no fucking way, no fucking way. It's like this
You know, I
is
was
what we're
kind of
doing.
struggling. You could also put like We Are the Resurrection, for example, because that also just the intro and the way it goes into it. It's just every time I'm listening to this album, and that's the first song of the album, that when that song starts, I'm immediately into the energy. Great.
So
But I think, yeah, it doesn't have all the other aspects that we just talked about, like dissonance.
for a slightly different approach, then, what songs do we think Neon listens to when he does his housework?
I was listening to a couple of things, probably because, yeah, similar fast energy level is Unlucky Morpheus, and that's something he likes. And I was also thinking about some songs that might fit. So yeah, I think he might have chosen Unlucky Morpheus.
I think he probably would have picked something, but I also think he's got a bit of a thing for his anthemic rock, and I think actually now especially I'm going to say it 'cause I don't know, but I just get the feeling, and I think this is timely to mention as well. I think that there's a possibility that Neon would pick something like X Japan. And it's ironically because as I'm thinking that in my head, and as I'm thinking about it, obviously there's the recent news that I believe it was the bass player. Apologies, I never remember who plays what, but I think the bass player, he passed away like today or yesterday. So yeah, I think on this particular, we will send our condolences out there as well, and just say apologies. Didn't do much research on that because I was never that familiar with X Japan. But that's the weird thing is X Japan are one of the if not the biggest band in Japanese history. And although they might have had the breakout impact of groups like BabyMetal and such, like within Japan, X Japan are like the name. So yeah, I think if you're going to be doing some housework at home today, guys, throw on some X Japan. Throw on some X Japan. and then just fucking clean your way through that floor. Make sure that you blast your way down into your downstairs neighbor's apartment, and then make them listen to X Japan as well. They will appreciate it as you come colliding through the ceiling. I very much wholeheartedly think that's what people should
And
do.
let us know what's your approach to housework. Like, are you more like Howard and going the happy we can do this route, or are you more like me and
Trying to
you
fucking
choose
wreck
the
your house. Let's not beat around the bush.
it's not
You're
wrecking
trying to
your house, it's just maxing out your chores.
How clean is your furniture? How clean must
I
that
mean,
be?
I find it very interesting that it's so that you don't really feel the like that you don't. To me, it was obvious every one of us will choose like a very energetic song,
See,
but you kind of didn't.
for me, the music that you're talking about, for me, is the catharsis. That's why the minute I finish, I'll go from one more time, and then the minute I finish, I'm like,
But
fuck it.
let me
And it's
let
just
me
like,
give you another
Don't
example
You Tell
because
Me by Band-MAID.
one song I almost picked was "Dada Dance" by BabyMetal.
Oh, I thought you were saying
So
Dada Dams. Oh,
no, unfortunately not.
sadness. Go listen to Dada Dams. We're telling people to go and listen to
Listen
so
to
many
Dada
different
Dance.
songs other than watching this video. The retention on this video is going to be fucking awful. We keep on telling people to leave and listen to other shit. So go watch other videos. Dada Dance by BabyMetal. Nearly said Band-MAID. That would have been embarrassing. So yeah, see,
That to me, it's also a song really high energy level throughout the whole song.
it's
But does it also have this catharsis experience for you? Because to me, that's just a happy, very energetic song.
not so much a catharsis. So I was always in a bit of a mixed place when it came to Dada Dance because Dada Dance, I like the fact that so yeah, when you look at the like old school BabyMetal, a lot of it was you look at things like Doki Doki Morning. It was about crossing J-pop with metal, and a lot of the time that was done by getting sort of basically a J-pop song and playing it with metal guitars. And then obviously in the second album they became focused more on the metal side. With Dada Dance, it was interesting because
I
to
would
me,
argue Dada Dance is still
well, this
that.
is this is the point that I was going to say. Is Dada Dance was one of the few examples of recent where I felt that they did exactly that again. It felt totally like just a straight J-pop song. It felt like one of those anime theme tunes from like one of those like Gundam style animes that I never watch. It felt like my friend James, he's like Evangelion and stuff like that, and it reminded me of like the Evangelion theme tune which I've heard, and that sort of that kind of energy, but with more guitar. So not.
I mean, Sue even sang that song, right?
Did
Didn't she do like a performance from like one of those shows, the intro songs? I'm not 100% sure. There was something.
Let's
Anyway.
be honest. There is going to be some fucking person in this video right now who knows the answer to that and is going to be screaming.
No, but I'm
as they
really
watch
sure
me
there was. I think
flounder.
it was Evangelion.
Yeah, there will be someone who knows every single song they've ever played live. So rather than me making a fool of myself,
I should know too.
person in chat, big brain in chat. I'm looking at you, big brain. Tell us. Did it happen? Which song was it? What performance? Let us know.
It did happen.
Let your big brain flow. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that for big brain BabyMetal fans. I know you're one of them secretly, Benedict, but you haven't got the answer for me right now. But yeah, Dada Dance. I don't know. That's the kind of music. It feels. I don't know. It feels engaging, but I've always found that kind of music very hard to really register what the feeling is. It feels chaotic, but I don't know if it feels cathartic. It feels more like something to get you going. So for me, Dada Dance is never a song that I went back to hugely because I was never really able to 100% know what.
But so you would say that would work better for you than Dissonance, for example?
No, because although Dada Dance is more in line with what I'm saying, as Distance, I know what the feeling is. And actually, a lot from the conversations I've had with you, I think I've realised more and more since talking to you, Benedict, about how much the feeling I get from a song is really important. I need to know how it makes me, even if I don't agree with the artist, I need to know how I feel about the song. And I hear Distance, I know how that makes me feel. I know that gives me like a pumped up energy. When I hear something like Dada Dance, I don't know, it's cool, but I don't really get a feeling from it. It's just kind of like I bob my head, I go, this is cool, but it feels very neutral on the feeling scale. So
Yeah, I think I kind of understand what you say, but to me that's like one of the few songs that really wanna like gets me moving. Like I really wanna dance to that.
see, that's an interesting
Even
thing.
though I don't wanna dance at all, like to most music.
I really want to see you dancing because I'm going to imagine there's some kind
Yeah,
of
you don't.
dark head banging vibe to you dancing.
It's not dancing.
I'm picturing those kids from the emo kids from South Park who, when they say they're going to dance, they just go like that.
That's gonna be me.
But yeah, it's funny thing is Dada Dance is called Dada Dance, but it's like one of the few. It's one of the songs that doesn't really make you want to dance by BabyMetal. It just doesn't feel like
It
conducive to
does for
dance.
me. It
That's
works for
interesting.
me.
That's interesting. I love how we don't agree on anything, and yet we can discuss. It makes it very enriching. But we don't have the beauty of having Neon in the middle to tell us that we're both wrong today. So, so it's down to the audience to tell us which one of us is the fool. Probably
There
both.
is no fool. It's subjective.
Oh, I
But it's
like
still
that.
fun to talk about it.
I like how you took the mature high ground on that one. It's Benedict's wrong.
Boring. Dance.
Yeah, so there you go. Those are our picks for songs to do your housework to. And I've got to be honest. This of all the ones that I got voted for, this is one of the ones that I think is probably the hardest to pin down. So I want everyone at home to let us know.
I voted for the Romans.
Well, I want everyone at home to let us know what songs, Japanese songs preferably, or Asian songs at least, you listen to when you do housework, what housework it is, and what vibe it gives you. Are you like Benedict, where you are cleaning stuff like, "Ah!" Or are you like me, where you're doing a tax return like, what kind of housework person are you? There we go. I'm sorry, I put you in a coma. I noticed that the sun is coming together. Every time we do one of these, just you and me, you always get fucking blinded.
trying to catch me.
So you're constantly getting like raptured
Like-
every time we talk.
Between my curtains, it's this big of a space.
You need to get one of those things where you tie your curtains together, dude. It would.
Yeah, it's like on the side.
All right, anyway, guys, we've told you all a bunch of videos that we want you to go and watch instead of listening to us, but we will have more videos coming out soon. So until we see you in the comments, I really want to see what people post for this. I think this is going to get weird as fuck. Until we see you in the comments for whatever weird shit you do your housework to, or, you know, what music you forcibly play to your butler if you're like that. Until then, remember to keep your ears to
Ooh.
the east. Oh shit, I've got to press stop because Neon's not here. Bye.